For the sea, we will be using a combination of a wet on wet and a wet on dry technique.
I'll demonstrate two styles of painting the sea. One will be a shore and waves, and one will be a oceanic view. Currently, I'm doing a very basic line drawing, which will include the shore line and the horizon for the one with shores and waves, and the second oceanic view will just have the horizon line. The colors I'll be using are a mix of turquoise blue and cerulean blue. Feel free to use whatever blue that you have. For the waves, I'm just going to take a little pigment of my brush and do a swift movement of my brush from left to right. How this helps is it shows speed and movement and leaves some part white, which shows the reflection and the foam of the waves. And this is how we are going to do the waves. To make it easier, take some pigment, wipe off a little of the pigment on a tissue paper, and then swiftly move your brush from one side to another. This may take some practice, so just practice this a little, and this is called a dry brush technique. Now, what we can also do is use a little bit pigment and move it from the other side to show the waves that are hitting the shore and coming back. Also, let's add some deeps towards the deeper end by using the same pigment, the same color combination, but more of pigment and less of water. So it creates a deeper blue. I'm just painting the sand quickly so that you can understand the effect of the waves. I'm just using a burnt sienna and quickly making the sand. You can also hold your brush at a 90-degree angle and create some smaller waves towards the end where the water is coming towards the shore. For the second one, we are using a wet on wet technique, which means I wet the paper first before I add the pigment. So in the part where we have the sea, I'm just adding clear water evenly throughout the section where I want to paint it. I'm using a same mix of cerulean blue and turquoise blue and just gently adding strokes. In this wet on wet technique, the pigment mixes with the water and so it gives you a soft look. Towards the horizon, I'm going to have a darker pigment and towards me, it's going to be lighter. And I also, at a 45-degree angle, add few strokes so it feels like there are waves in the sea. So these are the two techniques. One is a wet on dry and a wet on wet, depending on what is the effect that you want to create. Now that it's semi-dry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently add strokes of the waves. Just add this in a few areas and leave a few areas white so you can see a light, medium and dark tones of waves in the sea. Now I'm going to add a sky in two shades of purple showing sunrise or sunset so that you can understand the sky and the sea in this painting. For the first painting, I encourage you to use what we learned from the first lesson about the sky and add the sky on your own for the first painting. Practice both these techniques so that you can apply it whenever you want to add waves or an oceanic view to your own paintings.